Before I tell you what happens, I want you to guess. $1,000 a month, 15 years, no lucky stock, no lottery ticket, just the same amount, moving into the same account, every single month, for 15 years straight. What do you think the final number is? Whatever you're picturing right now, write it down in your head. Because in the next 9 minutes, I'm going to show you the actual number, month by month, year by year, and I promise you, almost nobody guesses it right. Most people guess way too low. Stay until the end, because the jump between year 10 and year 15 is the part that actually changes how you think about money. Let's start where everyone starts. At 0. It's a Tuesday night. You just transferred $1,000 into an investment account. You stare at the screen for a second, half expecting it to feel like a big moment. It doesn't. It just feels like $1,000 leaving your checking account. A year from now, if you keep doing this every single month, you'll have put in $12,000. The account will be worth about $12,450. $450 of free growth. Barely enough to notice. Barely enough to care about. This is the part nobody shows you in the highlight reels. The beginning of compound growth is almost insultingly slow. And this is exactly the point where most people quit and assume it doesn't work. But keep this number in your head. $12,450. Because we're going to come back to it, and by the end, it's going to look tiny. Fast forward to year 3. You've put in $36,000 of your own money. Your friends are buying new cars, upgrading apartments, posting vacations. You're still doing the same unglamorous thing every month, moving $1,000 into an account you don't touch. Some nights, you wonder if you're being an idiot. If you should just enjoy the money now, while you're young enough to enjoy it. This is the exact moment most people quit. Not because the math stops working, but because patience is the least Instagrammable skill in personal finance. You don't quit, not because you're special, because you decided, a long time ago, that boring and rich beats exciting and broke. By year 5, you've invested $60,000 of your own money. The account is worth $73,477. That's over $13,000 the market gave you for doing absolutely nothing except not touching the money. Almost triple what the growth was after year 1. It's starting to move now, but it's still nothing compared to what's coming. Somewhere around year 7 or 8, something shifts. The growth stops feeling like pocket change. You log in one night out of habit, expecting the usual small bump, and the number is bigger than you remember. Bigger than it should be, if you're still thinking about this the way you did in year 1. This is the part almost nobody understands about compound growth, until they've lived through it. It doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows like a hockey stick, flat for a long time, and then, quietly, it isn't flat anymore. And you're about to see exactly where that bend starts. By year 10, you've invested $120,000 total. The account is worth $182,946. Read that again. You put in $120,000, you now have almost $183,000. That's more than $60,000 that came from nowhere. No extra work, no side hustle, no lucky trade. Just the same $1,000 on the same day, every single month, for 10 years, while the market quietly did what markets do over long periods of time. At this point you might be thinking, okay, that's a good number. I could stop here and feel proud. But you don't stop. And this next part is exactly why. Here's the part nobody puts in the highlight reel. This path is uncomfortable. It means driving the same car longer than you want to. It means watching people who spend more than you look, on the surface, like they're winning. It means 15 years of small, unremarkable decisions that no one claps for. There's no moment where someone hands you a trophy for not buying the thing you wanted in year 4. The only proof this is working is a number on a screen that almost nobody else will ever see. And some nights, that's genuinely hard. You start to wonder if the number will ever feel real. If 15 years is even worth thinking about when you're only 3 or 5 or 8 years in. This is where most people give up. Not from a bad decision, but from impatience disguised as boredom. If you've made it this far in the video without skipping ahead, you already have more patience than most people who start this. Now, here's what you've been waiting for. 15 years after that first Tuesday night transfer, you open the account one more time. Over that time, you put in $180,000 of your own money. Roughly the price of a modest house in a lot of places, spread out, $1,000 at a time, over 15 years. The account is worth $346,038. Go back to that first number I told you to remember, $12,450 after year one. This is that same account, 28 times bigger, from the exact same monthly habit. That means the market handed you $166,038 for doing nothing but staying consistent and not touching the money. Almost half of what you have came from growth you didn't work for. It came from time, from patience, from refusing to interrupt the process every time life gave you a reason to. You sit there for a moment, doing the math in your head the way you always do. Somewhere, a version of you from year one, the one who almost quit in year three, would not believe this screen is real. Here's what 15 years of doing the same boring thing actually teaches you. Wealth isn't built in the moment you decide to invest. It's built in the 1,000 ordinary moments you decide not to stop. The month you wanted to skip it. The year your friends were buying things you wanted. The stretch where the number barely moved and it felt pointless. Every one of those moments was the actual work. Not the investing itself, the staying. If you're 3 months in or 3 years in and it doesn't feel like it's working yet, that's not a sign to stop. That's exactly what the first 10 years of compound growth are supposed to feel like. You just watched proof of that. Start to finish. $1,000 a month. 15 years. One number most people never let themselves see, because they quit somewhere around year 3. If you want more real, honestly calculated stories about money, patience, and what actually builds wealth over time, subscribe to The Money Man. Because the version of you 15 years from now is either going to thank you for starting today or wonder why you didn't.